Craig here and welcome to Your Tech. Today's video, you've built yourself a brand new gaming PC. You can't wait to get started. You're gonna get on with your friends and take some heads on Call of Duty or slog it out on Hell Let Loose, but you've got to set your PC up. How do you do that? How do I put Windows on it? How do I make sure my drivers are up to date? Somebody told me something about BIOS settings. How do I know my monitor's got the right refresh rate on it? Don't worry about it, I've got you covered. Watch this video and I'm going to teach you how to set your gaming PC up so that you can get gaming with your friends as soon as possible. Let's get into it. First thing you want to do after you've built your PC is get a Windows Media Creation tool. Now, I can hear you screaming, but where? Where on earth do I get this from? How do I do it? Now, unfortunately, this is going to require some kind of device with internet access and a USB port. There's no getting around it, so if you've got a friend or a family member that has a computer or a laptop or something like that, get yourself a little USB pen, bring up Google, type in Windows Media Creation tool and press enter, and the first link will be create installation media for Windows. Give that a click, follow the prompts. Once you've clicked the link, choose whether you want Windows 11 or Windows 10 and scroll down to where it says create Windows 11 installation media. You need at least 8 GB USB stick for this to work. Scroll down, click download now. Your download will start. Run this program, accept the terms and conditions. Once it gets to it, it'll ask you where you want this to be installed. So you just click on the USB stick that you've plugged into your PC, follow the prompts, and there you have it. Then all you need to do is take that out, put it into your brand new gaming PC, and then we'll go on to the next step, which is to install Windows, which is so easy. We'll do it now. You want to plug your USB pen into your PC, restart the computer, and it should automatically boot to the USB stick. If this doesn't happen, go into the boot menu and just overwrite whatever the boot order is to the USB. Once it's booted to the USB, you'll be greeted with this window. So choose your language, time and date format and click next. It will ask you to activate Windows straight away. I always do this once I'm in Windows. Click I don't have a product key, accept the terms and conditions. Click customized install Windows only, advanced, and this will give you a menu where there will be a list of drives. Now this PC only has one, so it's dead easy. If you have more than one drive, make sure that you're installing Windows on the fastest drive you have. If all of your storage devices the same capacity and you can't work out which one's which, and it can be confusing at this stage, turn your PC off and only have the storage device that you want Windows installing on plugged in, then restart, go through the prompts again. If it's a brand new build, you'll click new and create a simple volume. So click new, click apply, click OK, and now you will see that you have 3 partitions that have been created. It's usually 3 partitions anyway. You've got a system partition, an MSR reserved partition, and your primary. Click next. Windows will do its thing. Once it's got through all of this installation, it will restart, and then you can start setting up Windows from the out-of-box experience menu. First things first, if you don't want to connect to a network, which I highly recommend you don't, press Shift and F10. That will bring the command prompt up, and type in OOBE, out of box experience, / bypass NRO. Press enter and the PC will restart. When it comes back on, you will be able to skip and say that you don't have the internet. Upon completing the installation, then you plug the internet in or connect to your Wi-Fi or whatever you want to do. And then there you have it. Choose your language. Yep, skip. I don't have internet. And then continue with limited setup. Name your PC, put in your password, and then you've got all of, please let us watch you while you do stuff on your computer. So I will say no to all of these. So there's absolutely minimal tracking from Windows about what I'm doing on it. Wait a couple of minutes for it to set everything up. Now that Windows is finished setting up, plug the network cable in. Now we can start getting everything set up and ready for our gaming PC. Hit start and type Windows Update and click enter. This will bring you into the Windows Update settings. Click check for updates. and wait. Your first Windows update is going to take a long time. There's a few other things we can download whilst Windows is updating. The first one that I would advise would be chipset drivers. So let's go in, see if we can find the chipset drivers, get them downloaded. So we have the B760X8X. Just to be safe, I will basically download all of these drivers, well, all of the latest drivers. I won't bother with the SATA drivers, it's just Intel's bloatware. And we are going to be updating the BIOS as well. So get the most recent BIOS that has been released. And then if you bother about RGB control and all that, you can install the RGB software. And after about a year and a half, Windows will finish updating, and then you can move on to setting up your gaming PC and get gaming. So now we need to worry about drivers. So right click on the start menu, go to device manager, and you'll see some devices that need a little bit of help. So the first thing we're going to do is install the graphics driver, because arguably the most important driver, AMD 7700 XT driver. Go to drivers and support. Now I'm not sure what the difference is between the auto detect and install and the AMD software Adrenaline edition. I usually just go for the AMD software Adrenaline edition, download that, open the program, click additional options. Now you have the option of default, minimal and driver only. For the sake of bloatware, I always click driver only. I do the same thing with Nvidia. I only install the drivers. I don't bother with their own programs and stuff like that. If you're someone that would like to be reminded when there's a driver update so it's easier for you to manage, by all means, download the minimal or the full software. If you want that full experience of the AMD software, great. If you don't. If you've got an Nvidia GPU, this is muchly the same. You just go to Nvidia's website, type in whatever graphics card it is you're looking for, and then you'll download the driver, and it will ask you the same as with AMD, whether or not you want to just include the driver or whether you want the full program. Restart. Once you've restarted, that should be your graphics driver installed. So we've still got quite a few drivers here, so what we'll do is install the chipset driver. So go into your downloads folder where you downloaded them earlier, extract all of the drivers, and then we will one by one go through and install the drivers. Take a little bit of time, so you just go through, install each driver that you've extracted, and then hopefully we'll be ready to start installing some programs and get you gaming. If you've got any drivers that you're not sure of, they've got little exclamation marks on. First thing you want to do is try and find the driver yourself in your downloads folder or wherever you've downloaded your drivers to. So just right click, update driver, browse, choose the folder that the drivers are in, include subfolders, let it run and see if it finds it. If it doesn't, you can right click on the device, the exclamation mark, go to properties, and in device ID or something like that, find some information that's in the details panel. Then you can search that on Google and that will usually give you an indication as to what it is. If you're on AMD platform and you have this issue and it's giving you no information and you cannot find what it's for, try installing the chipset drivers again. I had that issue recently with a customer build and I had to install the chipset drivers 3 times, and then for whatever reason the 3rd time it decided, oh, I do need to update that driver, and it updated it. Now we are going to get onto the serious stuff. Updating the BIOS. Now people are terrified of this, and I understand why. If there's a power cut, if something goes wrong whilst you're installing the BIOS, you can brick your system. It is not always advised to do it. However, you can sometimes get quite good benefits from updating a BIOS. A few years ago, updating a BIOS meant that it unlocked capability for resizable bar, which is a fantastic thing that almost always nets you a little bit of performance gain with your graphics card. So update your BIOS if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable and terrified of doing it, don't. Go to a professional and ask them to do it for you. It shouldn't cost a lot for someone else to update your BIOS. It's only an hour's work, if that. So we have our BIOS file. We will now need a USB stick. My BIOS USB stick. This is the one that I use just for BIOSes. So we shall plug that in. We will format it. Quick format, exFAT's fine. exFAT or FAT32 is what you want to format it in. In my experience, exFAT's absolutely fine. I'm unable to get Elgato to capture it, so I'm gonna have to do it like this and just point the camera at the screen. This is going to be different for almost every motherboard, but the premise is you put your BIOS on your USB stick, plug your USB stick into the PC, go into the BIOS functionality of that motherboard and update the BIOS, making sure nothing gets turned off or unplugged whilst you do it. With this Gigabyte board, you go to Q Flash, click the USB icon, find your USB drive in the list here. The BIOS is here. Are you sure to update BIOS? And click yes. Click press to start. Do your best to leave it for as long as you can for it to do its thing. Don't interrupt it. Don't restart. Make sure it doesn't lose power if you can help it, and just wait. Once it's complete, you'll get a message saying it's complete. It'll restart, and it should restart into Windows without you having to do anything. We've updated the BIOS, and now it is time to set the BIOS up. There's a couple of settings that you're going to want to activate. So go into your BIOS, and the first one that you're going to want to activate is XMP. All right, so this is in a different place depending on what motherboard you've got and what the BIOS setting is. So you want to come down here. It's a very easy one. Just click on Extreme Memory Profile, XMP1, and you're done. That's it. Your RAM will now run at its fastest speed that is rated by whatever the manufacturer is you bought it from. Depending on your motherboard and your CPU, it will either be called DOCP, XMP, or Expo. The next thing you want to turn on is resizable bar. I'd probably leave the rest of it at stock unless you know what you're doing. BIOS is updated. All the drivers are updated. No driver issues. It's time to set Windows up and then start putting some applications on here so we can get gaming. First thing you want to do, go to your search bar, put in advanced system settings, click enter, click on settings, adjust for best performance, turn on show thumbnails instead of icons and smooth edges of screen fonts. Click apply. Next, go to power plan, choose a power plan. We want this on high performance. Close. Go into your display settings, make sure your resolution is set correctly, scroll down to advanced display and make sure that your refresh rate matches the refresh rate of your monitor. It's really important. If you want to get smooth animation, smooth gameplay, make sure it's running the highest hertz it supports. Just overall will feel more responsive. It's worth doing, make sure you do. And now it's time to install a few applications. So the first one that I would recommend for almost everyone is MSI Afterburner. Never had any issues with it, and it's a great way of controlling the fan curve on your graphics card. And if you want to do a slight overclock or a simple overclock on it, it's brilliant for that too. Make sure to uncheck Norton 360 for gamers. Nobody should have that on their computer. Norton is trash. Not quite as trash as McAfee, still trash. Install it. You'll have the option of installing Riva Tuner Statistics Server. That is a complete choice on your part. I like to install it because it gives me the overlay. That'll now run, and I'll just quickly change to this one because it's the one that I know. It's simple. And then all you want to do, start with Windows, start minimized, enable user-defined software, and now you can control your fan curve however you want. And that's it. Click OK. Click the start up button, click save, and click a number. And now that is saved. Minimize, and that is MSI Afterburner done. The next one you're going to want is Steam. Download Steam and run the installer. Download Discord. Once again, download the installer. Once Steam's finished doing its thing, we'll install Discord, and then we're basically ready to go. You've updated Windows, you've updated your drivers, you've updated your BIOS, you've downloaded your programs, and you're ready to go. Do you need to do anything else? To be honest, no. Just got to download your games and then you can start playing. There's a couple of things that don't really apply to this PC, but they may apply to you. I'm going to go through. First one is your storage devices. If you have more than one storage device, you'll want to enable them. So if you press your Windows key and type disk management, and there is every possibility you will have additional disks that will be blacked out. And all you'll have to do is right click them, initialize them, and then create a simple volume on them. Once you've done that, it'll give it a drive letter and it'll show up in your file explorer. Good to go. Another thing that you'll have to do, and this is purely optional, you do not have to do this if you don't want to, is activate Windows. If you want to personalize Windows a little bit more, you'll have to activate Windows. Again, it's dead simple. Get yourself a CD key. I don't know morally if they're good or not. If I'm completely honest, I'm saying ignorant to it because I refuse to spend £100 on a Windows license key. It's pathetic to be charging that much for a license key. It's utterly pathetic. Once you've got your key, type in activate into your little search bar and go into activation settings. Click change on the product key, enter your product key, and then you'll have an activated Windows 10, 11, whatever, and you'll be ready to go. And that's basically it. There's nothing more to it. It's a fairly easy process. The only time you'll really get stuck is with drivers, and drivers can be a headache. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, there's going to be another one or two pop up here. Consider giving them a watch, and if you enjoyed the content, please give us a like and a subscribe and all that good stuff. Let us know if we've helped or not, and if there's anything that I missed and you would like us to go through. Thank you again for watching. I shall see you on the next one. Bye.